You won't believe what just happened. In a twist no one saw coming, Papoose took to Instagram Live and shattered the picture-perfect image fans had held onto for years. With thousands watching in real time, he dropped a confession that sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, accusing none other than Remy Ma of hiding a painful, scandalous secret. Fans were left speechless, jaws on the floor, as the man who once stood by her through prison time, career rebirth, and countless public battles finally cracked on camera. What started as a routine live session turned into a fiery explosion of betrayal, heartbreak, and raw emotion. "I stayed silent for too long," Papoose said, voice shaking, eyes glassy. "But I can't keep covering for her." Within seconds, the comment section exploded. Some fans begged him to stop, others demanded the truth, and many just stared in disbelief. Was Remy cheating? Was there another man? Or something even deeper? It didn't take long for the internet to erupt with speculation. But one thing is certain, whatever Remy Ma was hiding, it was big enough to push Papoose over the edge. And now, the whole world knows. And this is only the beginning. When Papoose opened that live session, no one knew it would end with the entire internet spiraling. He looked calm at first, sitting in a dimly lit room, hoodie over his head, sipping something from a black mug. Fans were dropping in slowly, commenting things like, "We love you, Papoose," and "Where's Remy tonight?" Some even joked about him always staying loyal, always playing the perfect husband. But if anyone was paying close attention, there was a strange tension in his eyes, like something had been building for weeks, maybe months. He cleared his throat and said, "I'm not going to be on here long. I just need to get something off my chest." That sentence alone was enough to make the chat explode with curiosity. People thought maybe he was announcing a new project, or speaking on a recent rumor, but no one expected what came next. "For years," he said, "I kept my mouth shut. I defended her, protected her, even when I knew I shouldn't." A pause followed, then a deep sigh. "I ain't perfect. I got flaws. But I never played her. Not once." Fans started posting question marks. Confusion spread, and then he dropped the bomb. "But Remy, she hasn't been real with me. Not for a long time." At that moment, everything shifted. The tone, the energy, the audience. People were glued to their screens, whispering, texting, screen recording. Something was about to explode. Papoose didn't say the word cheating, not yet, but he hinted at lies, distance, secrets. "You start to notice things," he said. "When someone changes, when the love feels rehearsed." Then came the moment that truly shattered everything. Papoose leaned forward, eyes locked, on the screen and whispered, "There's someone else." Gasps flooded the comment section. Fans begged for clarification. "What do you mean, someone else? You saying Remy cheated? Please tell me this is a joke." But it wasn't a joke. Papoose nodded slowly and said, "I tried to ignore it, tried to believe her. But when you see the same number calling her late at night, when she starts locking her phone, staying out later than usual, what else are you supposed to think?" He didn't name names. Not yet. But the implication was deafening. For years, Remy and Papoose were considered hip-hop's most solid couple. They survived her incarceration, public scrutiny, and industry pressure. They were the definition of ride or die. But now, all of that was being called into question. Meanwhile, fans weren't just reacting. They were investigating. Within minutes, people started pulling up old clips, past interviews, even Remy's social media posts. One user pointed out that she had recently deleted a photo with Papoose. Another said she had been spotted out late without her ring. And a third posted a blurry photo claiming Remy had been seen getting into an SUV with an unidentified man too. Weeks ago, after a studio session, the internet was on fire. Papoose finally ended the live with a cryptic message. "This ain't to hurt her," he said. "It's just me finally being real. Y'all always saw us as goals, but even goals get shattered." The live ended, but the fallout had just begun. Remy Ma stayed silent for hours. No tweets, no posts, no comments, and that silence only fueled the storm. That same evening, Remy's cousin Jasmine posted a vague Instagram story. "You always think they'll ride forever until they switch lanes. Now that lit the match. People started speculating that Jasmine was talking about Remy. Others claimed Jasmine had always hinted at issues behind the scenes. Some fans even accused Remy's inner circle of hiding the truth for too long. By midnight, a screenshot began circulating. It showed a DM supposedly from Remy's private account sent to a rapper known for low-key mixtape collabs. The message read, "You up?" followed by a heart emoji. Unverified, of course, but believable enough to make fans lose it. And that was just day one. The next morning, Papoose posted again, but not on live. This time it was a black screen with just one sentence. Truth don't need clout. No tagging, no names. But everyone knew exactly what it meant. By noon, multiple outlets picked up the story. Blogs ran headlines like, "Hip-hop's most loyal husband betrayed," and "Has Remy been living a double life?" The Breakfast Club discussed it. "Joe," Budden tweeted. Even Cardi B liked a shady post on X about real men getting played by industry women. But still, Remy said nothing. That's when things got worse. Someone leaked a clip, just 5 seconds long, of what looked like security. Camera footage from a parking garage. It showed a woman resembling Remy getting into a car with a man who was definitely not Papoose. The man had dreads, a familiar walk, and his face was just clear enough to spark rumors. People zoomed, enhanced, speculated, and eventually a name emerged: Kilo Blaze, a producer known in underground circles, tied to Remy through past studio sessions. And most damning of all, he was recently spotted backstage at one of her private performances. The comments turned brutal. Some fans defended her. Others called her out. "How you cheat on a man that held you down during your bid?" one post read. Another said, "If this is true, Remy lost the best man in hip-hop." Memes exploded. Parody accounts made jokes. But beneath the surface, a lot of fans were genuinely heartbroken because this wasn't just celebrity gossip. This was the unraveling of something that had once felt real. And just when people thought it couldn't get more twisted, Remy finally broke her silence. On her Instagram stories, she posted a single image, a cracked heart emoji. No caption, no words. Just that. And the internet lost it again. Was it an admission? A cry for sympathy? A silent apology? No one knew, but everyone was watching. And somewhere in the shadows, Papoose had already started planning his next move. The cracked heart emoji posted by Remy Ma didn't just break the silence, it opened the floodgates. Within 10 minutes, screenshots of the story spread across every platform like wildfire. Instagram pages, Twitter threads, even Facebook aunties were debating its meaning. And yet, Remy didn't post anything else. No video, no explanation, no denial. Just that one small broken symbol. Some fans clung to hope. Maybe she was heartbroken too. Maybe this was all a misunderstanding, and the internet had jumped to conclusions. But others weren't buying it. Not after the messages, the security footage, the late-night DMs, and Papoose's live confession. And then came the podcast. A relatively unknown podcaster named Tone McGriff, who once opened for a Papoose freestyle event, released a new episode titled "The Queen's Got a Side King." In it, he claimed that he had personally seen Remy and Kilo Blaze together at a closed-door industry mixer in Brooklyn. According to Tone, they were way too close and left together around 1:30 a.m. "I'm not saying they were holding hands," Tone said, "but body language don't lie, and they weren't acting like collaborators. Trust me, it didn't take long for that clip to go viral." Suddenly, Tone McGriff's page blew up. The views poured in, and more witnesses began popping out of nowhere. A club promoter from Jersey claimed Remy and Kilo had been booked for a private party last month. A backstage crew member swore they overheard a heated argument between Remy and Papoose 2 weeks ago. Something about, "You said you stopped talking to him." Fans started noticing little things they had previously overlooked. Remy's recent lyrics about freedom and starting over now felt like coded messages. One old interview where she laughed off the idea of soulmates resurfaced. Even her body language on red carpets was being reanalyzed frame by frame, and through it all, Papoose remained calm, quiet, and dangerous. Until day 3. That morning, he posted a throwback photo of him and Remy during her prison sentence, arms wrapped around each other in a visiting room. Underneath, he wrote, "I held you down when the world turned its back. Now I realize you were never really holding me." Fans were devastated. That picture had always been symbolic of their bond, their ride-or-die legacy. And now it was a farewell letter, wrapped in pain. The comments were brutal. Some begged him to forgive her, others told him to leave and never look back. And a few just dropped crying emojis, because honestly, what else was there to say? Remy, for her part, still hadn't said a word. The cracked heart story vanished after 24 hours. She posted nothing new. Didn't show up to her scheduled panel event, didn't respond to press requests. Her publicist claimed she was taking time to process things privately. But the silence only made things louder. Then came a twist no one saw coming. A verified music journalist posted a leaked audio clip, allegedly from inside Remy's dressing room at a recent show. In it, two voices argued back and forth. The female voice sounded a lot like Remy. The male, unmistakably Papoose. "You lied to me," the voice said. "You looked me in the eye and lied." "I didn't do anything with him," the female voice replied. "You let him touch you. Don't play me, Rem." Then static. The clip was cut off, but that one sentence, "You let him touch you," was enough to set the timeline ablaze. If the clip was real, it meant Remy hadn't just emotionally strayed. She had physically crossed a line. And if that was true, everything they built was now sitting in ashes. Kilo Blaze, on the other hand, decided to speak up for the first time. In a now-deleted Instagram post, he wrote, "I never meant to get caught in no love war. I respect both of them. But if two grown people connect on energy, that ain't up to the crowd to judge." Fans screenshotted it before he could take it down. And just like that, Kilo Blaze was no longer just a name in the shadows. He was the other man. Remy's team tried to do damage control. Someone leaked a statement claiming the relationship with Kilo was strictly professional, that Remy had been working on a secret project, and Kilo was brought in to help produce it under a non-disclosure agreement. But that backfired badly. Fans started mocking the secret project excuse. Memes flooded social media. One showed a studio mic with the caption, "Trust Issues FT Kilo Blaze." Another had a fake album cover titled "Infidelity and Bars." But beneath the jokes, the pain was real, especially for Papoose. People close to him said he had moved out of their home, that he was staying with a cousin in Newark, that he wasn't taking calls from mutual friends. One insider even claimed he returned a luxury gift Remy had given him for their anniversary, a limited edition watch engraved with the words "Forever Us." He mailed it back. No note. Meanwhile, rumors swirled that Remy was preparing a tell-all live of her own. Bloggers speculated that she had been sitting on receipts, that she might flip the narrative, that maybe, just maybe, she had her own pain to unload. But before she could go live, another twist hit. A photo leaked of Remy and Kilo Blaze at a hookah lounge in Atlanta. No entourage, no press, just the two of them, sitting close, sharing a laugh. The date stamp? Just 1 week before. Papoose's explosive Instagram Live. Fans had seen enough. "This ain't even a rumor anymore," one user wrote. "She played him." Another posted, "I used to believe in love because of them. Now I just believe in prenups." The internet had officially turned. Once diehard fans of the Remy Papoose power couple were now mourning the death of something they'd believed in. But then, late that night, as the backlash reached its peak, Remy finally broke her silence for real. She didn't speak. She didn't type. She simply posted a video. It opened with a black screen. Then her voice. "Y'all want the truth?" The screen faded into her face. No makeup, no lights, just raw honesty. And what she said next would change everything. Remy's video wasn't long, barely 4 minutes, but every second felt like it was dipped in fire. She sat in what looked like a small room with dim lighting, a hoodie over her head, and a soft tremble in her voice. This wasn't Remy the rapper. This was Remy the woman, raw, cornered, and done hiding. "I never thought I'd have to do this," she said, staring directly into the camera. "But y'all been dragging my name through the mud, and the only thing worse than the lies being told is the truth being twisted." She paused, inhaled, then dropped the first bomb. "Me and Papoose ain't been right for a long time." The comment section was instant chaos. Fans flooded the video with disbelief, sadness, and frustration. Some begged her to stop. Others demanded answers. But Remy didn't slow down. "People think because he held me down during my bid, we were perfect. But nobody saw the nights I cried alone. The times I felt like a ghost in my own house. That way he started treating me like an obligation, not a partner." Her voice cracked. Just slightly, but it was enough to shake the viewers. "I'm not saying I was innocent," she continued, "but I was hurting, and nobody cared." Then she addressed the rumors. Kilo was a friend, a producer. He helped me when I was falling apart, when I couldn't talk to Papoose anymore without getting shut down. She didn't confirm a relationship. She didn't deny it either. Did I lean on him? Yes. Did I feel something? Yes. But I never planned any of this. And I'm sorry for how it all came out. Fans didn't know how to react. Some applauded her honesty, others accused her of playing victim. A few questioned why she waited until the whole world turned against her to speak. But the biggest twist came at the very end of the video. Remy took a deep breath, looked down for a second, then whispered, "What none of y'all know is I wasn't the only one hiding something." Those words hit like a gunshot. She didn't explain, didn't elaborate, just looked back at the camera and said, "When the full truth comes out, I hope y'all keep the same energy." And with that, the screen went black. The internet lost its mind. Within 10 minutes, hashtags like Remy exposed and Papoose truth began trending. Fans were no longer just taking sides, they were digging deeper. People started speculating what Remy meant. Was she hinting that Papoose cheated first? Had secrets of his own? Was the king of loyalty not so loyal after all? Then came the screenshots. A gossip page known for breaking messy exclusives dropped a blurry image of a woman texting someone named Papoose, followed by flirty messages and a hotel confirmation. No date was shown, and the woman's identity was hidden. But that didn't matter. The seed was planted. Then something unexpected happened. A woman came forward. Not anonymously, not through a gossip blog, but with her face on camera. Her name, Keisha Reynolds, an R&B vocalist from Queens with a small following. She claimed she met Papoose at an industry brunch over a year ago. According to Keisha, they had a connection, exchanged numbers, and stayed in touch. "He never crossed a line," she said in her video, "but there was definitely something emotional there. We talked almost every night for 3 months, and I didn't even know he was married at first." Her story was vague, convenient, but powerful enough to light up the timeline all over again. Fans started turning on both Remy and Papoose. Some felt heartbroken. Others were tired of the drama. One comment summed it up perfectly. "We supported this couple for years. Now it feels like we were watching a movie instead of real life." But the plot was still thickening, because while the public battled over loyalty, betrayal, and accountability, Remy and Papoose were completely silent, until footage leaked from inside a marriage counselor's office. A paparazzi source claimed they had followed Remy's car to a low-key counseling center in Manhattan. Hours later, Papoose was seen leaving through a side door with a hoodie pulled low. Both of them had tried to stay off the radar, but the photos were clear. They were meeting, privately, and often. Suddenly, hope started creeping back into the narrative. Were they trying to fix it, or planning how to separate quietly? One of Papoose's close friends broke the silence in a radio interview. "They're both hurt," he said, "but this ain't Twitter beef. This is years of love, pain, sacrifice. They built something, and neither of them wants to see it fall apart just for clout." And just when the drama reached a point where people thought it might cool down, Kilo Blaze went live. In a reckless, messy, and emotionally charged rant, Kilo blasted the media, Remy's team, and even fans. "Y'all acting like I broke up a marriage. I ain't break nothing. It was already broken when I got there." His words were bold, reckless, and very revealing. "She cried to me, man. Told me how she felt invisible. How dude ain't even look her in the eye anymore. Y'all call it cheating. I call it surviving." Fans went into overdrive. Some called him manipulative. Others saw him as a victim of Remy's emotional confusion. But many believed one thing for sure. There was definitely more to the story than either Remy or Papoose had admitted. Within 24 hours of Kilo's live, Remy deleted every photo of him from her profile. And that single act spoke louder than any statement. People wondered if she had finally realized the damage was too deep. Or maybe, just maybe, she regretted the entire thing. Because behind all the headlines, comments, memes, and messy receipts, one truth remained. This wasn't just about a cheating scandal. This was about two people who had been each other's world. Now trying to decide if they were still worth saving, the internet was still trying to recover from Kilo Blaze's outburst when a new piece of the puzzle dropped, and it didn't come from Remy, Papoose, or even Kilo. It came from their daughter. Not the youngest, but the oldest, Dejeuner, Remy's stepdaughter from Papoose's previous relationship, who had always stayed out of the spotlight. Until now. In a now-deleted TikTok, Dejeuner posted a black and white selfie video with a soft piano track playing behind her. Her voice was quiet, but her words were sharp. Watching your parents break in front of the world is a different kind of pain. I don't care who's wrong or who started it. They're both hurting, and so are we. Fans were shocked. Dejeuner had never spoken publicly about her parents' drama. Most didn't even know she had a social media presence. But her post went viral within hours. And while she didn't name names or take sides, she confirmed what many had feared. This wasn't just about two people. This was about an entire family unraveling. Dejeuner's post sparked a new wave of emotion online. Fans started sharing their own stories of broken families, public embarrassment, and complicated love. The narrative was no longer just gossip. It was human. Remy and Papoose were silent again, completely. And then, almost as if coordinated by fate or media instinct, both of them reappeared, but separately. Remy was spotted at a women's empowerment conference in Philadelphia. No flashy outfit, no entourage. She wore a simple black turtleneck and jeans. And when the host asked her, "What do you do when people try to define you by your mistakes?" her answer stopped the room. You stop arguing with them. You show them what healing looks like. Some applauded, others whispered. One attendee live tweeted the moment and said, "She looked sad, but strong." At almost the exact same time, Papoose appeared at a youth mentorship event in Brooklyn. His message? Redemption, loyalty, and the danger of emotional silence. Back up before your silence speaks for you, he told the crowd, because by the time you do, it might be too late. Back online, fans connected the dots. Some felt hopeful, others felt like both were trying to save face. But everyone agreed on one thing: the saga wasn't over. Then, another twist. Someone leaked security footage, not from the restaurant, not from the parking lot, but from the actual therapy center both had been attending. The clip was short, grainy, but clear enough. It showed Remy and Papoose walking side by side through the hallway. No words exchanged, but his hand gently touching her back as they turned the corner. And just like that, the internet flipped again. Memes about Papoose and Remy healing in silence took over. Fans started rooting for a comeback story. Even celebrities jumped in. Fat Joe commented "family over fame" under a fan page repost of the clip. But the calm didn't last long, because the very next day, Kilo Blaze posted a cryptic reel to his stories. It was just a screen recording of Remy calling him on FaceTime, dated 2 weeks prior. She was smiling. He was shirtless. There were no words, just eye contact. He captioned it, "Guess I was just helping her heal, huh?" The backlash was immediate. Fans slammed him for being petty, for clout chasing, for making it worse. But others pointed out the obvious. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Paparazzi caught Remy 2 days later leaving her apartment with a suitcase. Speculation erupted. Was she moving out? Had they separated for real this time? But then, hours later, a source close to the couple told a popular blogger, "They're not done. They're just trying to figure out how to breathe without suffocating each other." Fans couldn't help but feel torn. How do you root for two people when both of them have made mistakes? How do you separate betrayal from pain? How do you decide what's forgivable? And that's when Papoose made his move. He didn't go live. He didn't write a statement. He dropped a freestyle, no warning, no promo, just a raw 2-minute black and white video on his Instagram feed. One mic, one take, just bars. He rapped about loyalty. Heartbreak, the pain of loving someone who's slipping away. But the final verse shook everyone. "I held you when they counted you out, but who held me when I was full of doubt? You say I ain't speak, you ain't hear me scream. Guess loyalty only counts when it's part of the dream." The post went viral within minutes. Celebrities, rappers, poets, influencers, everyone reposted it. The freestyle wasn't just emotional, it was art. Painful, beautiful art. Fans flooded the comments with mixed emotions. Some praised his vulnerability, others questioned the timing. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just about views or clout anymore. This was real emotion, bleeding through the screen. Remy responded, not with a song, not with a live. She posted a photo, an old picture of her and Papoose sitting on a rooftop, laughing over takeout. No caption, just a broken heart emoji. And a rose. The rose was always their symbol, a nod to the life they tried to grow together despite the thorns. And just like that, the narrative began to shift once more. It wasn't about who was right or wrong anymore. It became about whether love, even when cracked, could be reshaped. Paparazzi pulled back. Fan pages went quiet. The noise faded because the truth had settled in. They might never go back to who they were, but maybe, just maybe, they were learning who they could still become. The rooftop photo with the rose changed everything. Fans didn't know whether it was a peace offering, an apology, or a farewell, but it felt different, real, vulnerable. And for the first time since the chaos began, it looked like Remy wasn't trying to defend herself. She was simply letting the world see her bruised. Paparazzi left them alone. Blogs stopped reaching for headlines. Even the messy gossip pages that had fueled every twist and turn went quiet. It was as if the internet collectively decided to give them space. But silence doesn't mean peace. Behind the scenes, Remy and Papoose were still meeting. Not for the cameras, not for public relations, but for therapy and themselves. One insider close to the couple revealed that they'd been attending back-to-back sessions for over a week. They don't sit together at first, the source said. They come in separately, take time to breathe, then sit in the same room when they're ready. It's slow, but they're showing up. But not everyone was rooting for a reunion. Kilo Blaze, after getting dragged online for posting the FaceTime video, disappeared from social media for days. When he finally resurfaced, he went live once again, this time defensive, angry, and clearly hurt. "I ain't the villain in this," he snapped. "Y'all don't know what went down behind closed doors. She needed someone, and I was there. Now that she's trying to fix it with Dude, I'm just disposable," he claimed. Remy ghosted him, stopped answering calls, unfollowed him. "Don't play with people's hearts," he said, "even if it's not on camera." His rant didn't gain the same traction this time. Fans weren't interested. Many were done with him. Others blamed him for trying to insert himself into a relationship that was already fighting for its life. But Remy never acknowledged Kilo again. Not online, not in public, not in any way. The message was clear. Her focus was elsewhere, and so was Papoose's. In a surprise move, he appeared at a panel discussion about fatherhood in hip-hop. When asked how he balances personal pain with public responsibility, he said something that caught everyone off guard. Sometimes the only way to fix the future is to sit with the past until it stops bleeding. Those weren't just words. They were a signal, especially when later that same night, a photo surfaced of Remy and Papoose leaving that very panel event, together, hand in hand, no words, no captions, just one blurry street photo that traveled faster than any viral clip ever. The internet exploded. They're back. This is what healing looks like. Still the realest couple in the game. But still, no official confirmation. Fans wanted to know, are they rebuilding or just saying goodbye gracefully? The answer came the following weekend, a private. Dinner was held in Harlem for close friends and family. No cameras allowed, no media, just loved ones. Those who were there claimed it felt like a reunion, but not a celebration. There were tears, one insider said. Not the loud, dramatic kind, the quiet ones. The kind that come from two people who still love each other, but aren't sure how to live together anymore. At the end of the night, Papoose raised a glass, didn't give a toast, just looked at Remy, and nodded. She nodded back. And that was that. 2 days later, a joint statement was released on their Instagram stories. Simple, quiet, respectful. We are choosing to focus on healing, separately, with love. Thank you for giving us the space to grow through this. It wasn't the reunion fans wanted, but it was the honesty everyone needed. The comment section turned into a support group. People shared their own stories of separation, heartbreak, and choosing peace over pain. And while some were disappointed, others respected the maturity it took to walk away from something iconic, without burning it down completely. As the dust finally began to settle, one final twist emerged. A leaked demo track, recorded months ago by Remy, surfaced online. It had never been released. But the lyrics were raw, In the chorus, she rapped, "They see the crown, but not the cracks. They hear the bars, but not the silence in the back. He was my king when the world fell apart, but even queens can misplace the heart." The demo wasn't polished. The beat was simple, but the words hit harder than anything she had posted. It played like a confession, an apology, a goodbye letter. Fans cried. Not because they lost a power couple, but because they watched two people try their hardest and still fall apart. And maybe that's the real story here. Not betrayal, not cheating, not drama, but two people pulled in different directions by time, pressure, silence, and pride, who loved each other enough to try one more time and smart enough to know when to let go. In the end, there was no villain, no winner, no revenge track, just growth, just scars, just real life. And while the internet may move on to the next scandal tomorrow, one thing will stay with everyone who watched this story unfold. Love is loud when it starts, but it's the quiet endings that echo the longest. So now you've seen it all. One of hip-hop's most unshakable couples torn apart, not by a single moment, but by a slow build of silence, secrets, and unmet needs. Papoose went live and cracked the internet wide open. Remy responded with truth, regret, and a heartbreak no filter could hide. Kilo Blaze became the unexpected third name in a love story no one thought would ever unravel. And in the middle of it all, the fans were left stunned, divided, and emotionally invested in every twist. This wasn't just drama. It was real-life emotion, raw, unpredictable, and painfully familiar. We watched loyalty tested, trust shattered, and two people try to hold on to something that the world kept pulling apart. And whether they reunite down the line or continue walking separate paths, one thing is clear: they loved each other out loud, even when it hurt. But now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Remy Ma was misunderstood? Was Papoose too silent? For too long? Should they try to rebuild? Or was the damage too deep? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think was most honest? Who let the fame get in the way? And do you still believe in ride or die after this? Don't forget to like this video if you were shocked by any part of this story. Subscribe to stay updated on the next wild chapter in hip-hop love and drama, and hit that bell so you never miss a moment. Because if this story taught us anything, it's that love in the spotlight burns brighter, but it also breaks louder. Until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and keep watching. This is just one story in the book, and trust us, the next page is coming soon.